Boston Mayor Michelle Wu. I've talked about her before on this show, about her shortcomings, some of the promises that she made when she was running for office versus the policies that she's implemented once she was elected. But something else has happened, and this is causing quite a stir. It appears that Mayor Michelle Wu was trying to host a holiday party. One of her staffers sent an email invite to Boston city councilors to attend that holiday party. But it sounds like that holiday party was only for certain people. Let's go ahead and get into this clip here from News Nation. Oh, Wu, what did you do?
Well, an errant email leading to an online firestorm and accusations of racism aimed at the mayor of Boston. The mayor is the first woman, the first person of color, and the first Asian American to hold the city's highest post. And she's under fire after an aide mistakenly sent out invites to all members of Boston City Council, inviting them to a holiday party meant to be exclusively for minority members of the city government. Correspondent.
Let's pause there. Look, I understand there are organizations and clubs for people of different races, different backgrounds. I totally get all of that. However, this is a holiday party. So you have to remember all the city councilors, they work for the city, right? And they also work with the mayor of that city. So essentially, this would be similar to if your boss, or let's say your department that you work in, they're doing a holiday party and they invite all of the employees, but they only invite certain employees and you're left out. So again, I support all these different organizations for people that have different backgrounds. I totally get all that. But when it comes to the workplace, you can't exclude other employees and just have a party for certain races. You can't do that. That's not cool. That's not okay. If it were the other way around, and let's say the party was only for the white employees, people would be livid. But apparently this isn't new. According to Michelle Wu, they've been doing this for years. Let's continue.
Elizabeth Pran is live. So, Elizabeth, those invitations ultimately rescinded from these members of council, correct?
Yes, from the 7 members, it was rescinded within about 15 minutes. And Mayor Michelle Wu did admit that the email was not intended for the larger group. She did speak to a group of reporters last night, but she did not apologize. She did not cancel the party, only saying that, as we mentioned, the invitation was intended for just a small group of people on the city council. She told reporters this was an honest mistake done by her team. As you mentioned, the original email was sent by her aide. We can put it up on the screen so you can see just a snippet of it. It says, in part, honorable members, on behalf of Mayor Michelle Wu.
Pause here for a second. The invite to the holiday party was only supposed to go to the city councilors that were people of color. Okay. But her staff member accidentally sent it to everyone. So now the white city councilors, now they know that there is a holiday party, but it's only for the city councilors who are people of color. So this was a oops from Denise, who is the staff member. She made a mistake, but that's not the point. The point is everyone should be able to come to a holiday party. That's the point. So you got to pretend and put yourself in that situation and pretend it happened to you. Here it is. Honorable members, on behalf of Mayor Michelle Wu, I cordially invite you and a guest to the Electeds of Color holiday party on Wednesday, December 13th, 5:30 p.m. at Parkman House, 33 Beacon Street. Please let me know if you plan to attend and if you have any dietary restrictions. Denise sent this to everyone.
cordially invite you and a guest to the Electeds of Color holiday party. So just to give you an idea of what the city council is made up of, there are 6 minority members, there are 7 white members. Wu telling reporters last night that it is a tradition to have the diverse gathering, and other gatherings will be offered for a much larger group throughout the holiday season. And while some, such as Frank Baker, now he is a Democrat, he is a white man on the city council, he said he was not offended. He wrote in part to the Boston Herald, "I don't really get offended too easily. To offend me, you're going to have to do much more than not invite me to this party." But he did go on to say, "I find it unfortunate that with the temperature the way it is, that we would further that division." She is getting support from other members of the city council. Brian Worrell writing in part that this just shows you that Boston's government has all kinds of groups. But here on your screen, this is just what we're seeing in the virtual world. Kelly, there is definitely quite a bit of vitriol. This says in part, if a white mayor had only white party, the screams of racism would be loud. She deserves no less. So if
that part right there, this is what I was saying. This is why we have to be careful. If it were the other way around, people would be livid. People would be livid. Again, it's a holiday party. Just a holiday party. That's it. Like it's not like I'm inviting people to come to my house and hang out and I'm having a cookout. No. This is a holiday party. Everybody comes to the holiday party. That's how this works. I know. I've been to a lot of holiday parties. Okay. So I'm just thinking about if this happened at Boston University, or if this happened at MIT, or if this happened at her other places where I've worked, people would lose their shit. You can't do that.
you look on social media today, you will see a myriad of responses. Of course, we have reached out to the mayor's office. We have asked a little bit more about the party. We have reached out to other council members. We have also asked the mayor's office if this party was taxpayer funded. As of this moment, we have not heard back. Kelly, back to you.
Certainly igniting a firestorm. Elizabeth, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to.
Okay. So, and then this is the other part. So Mayor Michelle Wu does respond. Listen to what she said. Boy, I tell you, listen to what she says. I told you she's not having a good year.
All right. Have you seen this? So the mayor in the city of Boston is in some hot water after emailing the entire city council an invitation to a holiday party that was intended for, quote unquote, electeds of color. Now, Mayor Michelle Wu admitted her mistake, but defended the party, saying it was a yearly custom that has been happening for a decade. So she sent this out. There's 15 members on the council, 6 minority, 7 white members, and she sent it to everyone. And now she's saying, "Whoops."
I mean, we've all been there to some degree, sending out an email and we're like, "Oh crap, it should not have gone to all those people." This is a tradition.
It's always email. It is always email that gets people in trouble. I'm not kidding.
And, it seemed like, Hanukkah parties, Kwanzaa parties, gay pride parties, sometimes events aren't for everybody, right? And this is a group that's been meeting, right, for a long time in Boston. It's kind of silly to me.
Anyone can go to a Hanukkah party. Anyone can go to a pride,
Sure, I don't think there's.
I've never been to a party that was for diversity, specifically for Black people, that other people weren't able to come to.
But that's what she said, right?
Seen that.
She said.
Well, it wasn't specific to Black people. I think there are 6 total minorities on the council. But either way,
that's exactly what this is. No, because she sent out the email saying everyone is invited to the Electeds of Color party, and then she resent the email.
That was the stupid mistake.
Saying, actually, no, some of you are not invited. And so the Babylon Bee had a great headline saying that the KKK closes up shop because the progressive left has accomplished all of their goals. And I think there is something about this segregated, that separate but equal Christmas parties that is just inappropriate for any place, but specifically a government. Government.
They're city councilors. They're not I don't know how else I can really break this down for you. But again, they work for the city. They work with the mayor. We have to be very careful. You guys have to understand Boston is number one. Boston is known as the number 1 racist city in America. Don't believe me? Look it up. We got to be careful here. You You can't separate the employees like this. You can't just do, I don't know. And I don't care if it's been a tradition. You got to be careful. We're already known, this city in particular, we are heavily known for segregation. We are heavily known for racism. That's what we're known for. It's not just the sports teams. We're known for that. So and we're known for structural racism in this city. That's what, so the number of times I've heard people over the years saying that we need to find ways to desegregate this city and to integrate it more. You can't do that if you keep separating people. That's the point I want to get across. And for people who are telling me, no, Sabby, you got to think about it this way. No, unless you live here, don't come to me with this mess. Just don't come to me. And I want to be very clear, and I'm going to show you something in a second. Don't think for a second that this is Mayor Michelle Wu letting you think that she cares about people of color in the city, because I'm going to show you a video that debunks that. She does not care about people of color in this city, particularly Black people. And I'll show you some of the things that she has not been doing as mayor. So we cannot be fooled.
Legally cannot do that.
Okay, so she fired off the email. What should she have done after that?
Invite everyone.
Well, the assistant fired out the email.
Okay,
Like,
so but the email got fired out.
Wasn't, yeah. Well, they should not have rescinded it. They should have just said, we'd like everyone
invite
to
everyone.
come.
Just let everyone come.
That would have been a much, a much better cover for herself, but also because I don't think that it was purposely trying to be exclusionary. But once you come back and say that, that kind of throws it up in the air.
Puts on those optics.
All right. Thank you for watching, and make sure you go.
Okay. Because when I told people I was going to talk about this story, somebody was like, well, Sabby, she's trying to, help and do things for marginalized groups in the city. No, she's not. She's not. And I'll show you now. I'll show you. Let me go ahead and let me sign it. Because this is a mess. I got to sign into a lot of things sometimes. But this is a mess. Like, people have to understand, we don't need any more division in this city. Not in this one. Because of what we're known for. Oh my God. We'll just do it this way. I'm going to do screen share. Okay. I want you to see this clip that I have here. Let me make sure the volume's on. Okay. A couple of weeks ago, I went to interview tenants here in Boston. It's not the first time. It's not the first time that I've done that, but I've interviewed tenants here in one housing development that is particularly bad. And I've seen different ones, but when we talk about the Mildred Healy apartment complex, it is particularly bad, formerly known as Bromley Heath. Mayor Wu knows about this, knows all about it. The city apparently allocated $50 million to fix up this complex. Nothing has been done. So I want to show you, we're going to share my screen because I want to show you my point that I'm trying to make. This party is not about Mayor Michelle Wu trying to look out for Black people or marginalized groups in the city, because she has not been. Look at this.
I hope they're not trying to push us out to bring a different, generation bracket in here. You know what I mean?
Gentrification.
Thank you. Yeah, I really do, because you know what I mean? Like, it's like we shouldn't live like this.
I'm in another apartment now, and I want to show you again another issue with the bathroom. So again, this is mold.
Yeah.
This is not,
they keep painting.
spots. This is not dirt. This is all mold on the ceiling. Wow. And look over here. Look at that. Look at this. So
that's black mold. Okay. I asked Mayor Michelle Wu about this in person. If you look on my channel, you go back. If you look under the tab that says on the ground, that category, you got to go further back. I asked her about this particular complex in person. I want to say that was either earlier this year or last year. She told me in person, you'll see it on the video, there was $50 million allocated to help rebuild this community. Nothing's been done. What has been done with that $50 million? Would you want to have to take a shower in this bathroom with black mold? Do you know how dangerous this is if you have asthma? If you have respiratory problems? There was a woman who died at this complex because of the mold. So for the people who were coming to me saying, oh, Sabrina, she's trying to do a separate holiday party because she's trying to, look out for black people and marginalized groups. No, the fuck she's not. These are the things you don't see. When you come here as a tourist to Boston, these are the things you don't see. These are the people you don't see. The tour buses don't take you to these parts like Jamaica Plain, parts of Dorchester, Mattapan, Roxbury. They take you to the gentrified parts. So you don't see this. This city gets a lot of money. So why is she letting these people live like this?
So that is very dangerous. And I'm not gonna stay in too long because so every time, like if you're taking a shower, you're breathing this in. This is very dangerous. So that is considered to be a health hazard. And then here too, going into another room here, they painted over this. Yeah. So they just painted over this, just paint. You see what they do? This ceiling is falling apart.
Yes.
Right there.
I see it.
All of that.
If you go to fix painting, what I'm just going to fix it.
Yeah, and so you've seen a lot of things today. One of the biggest concerns I do have is the mold, particularly because it's black mold. And it is one of those things like you're breathing in that, and that can cause other health issues such as asthma. It can cause lung issues. I started to notice it a little bit. I started to get a little fuzzy or a little lightheaded and I wasn't even in there long. So that right there lets you know. So I think the thing is this is what happens when you don't take care of mold. It will spread. Painting it, putting plaster over the wall does not get rid of the mold. And from what I've seen, the buildings that I've gone into, it is very apparent that the mold is spreading throughout the building. It's not just in one person's apartment. So I don't know what the city plans to do. There was $50 million that was allocated towards some parts of Bromley Heath. It doesn't look like it's been used yet. But again, I don't know what they're planning to do, but I have a strong suspicion that the plan is to let the buildings fall apart, to push the people out, to demolish this entire complex and build something anew, probably something gentrified. And that's what she's been doing. When you're talking about the communities of color, that's what Mayor Wu has been doing. You got to understand that was one of the number one things that she promised to fix when she was running for office was the housing situation here. That's just some of it. You go watch the whole video and you'll see all the other stuff, but that's just some of it. But people have to understand, again, this woman, this is all a fraud. This is a front. And when she was running, people were like, we could have the first woman of color in this position ever. Yeah. And what is she doing for the people who are like her? What is she doing for marginalized groups? Nothing. You got to understand she's letting these properties fall apart. So again, this type of complex is not something where they have like a private landlord and the landlord will come and fix it. No, the city is responsible. So this is on her. And she said there was $50 million. Nothing has been done. So don't think that just because she's having a holiday party for the employees that are people of color, don't think that means that she cares about those people, because all of her policy actions have shown you that she does not. She's another one that is sold out to the real estate investors. Tia knows. So Tia lives in that complex. Tia said the black mold is deep in the walls. One of the walls were cut open and there were spaces with the mold. The whole thing has to be rebuilt. So Mayor Wu, no, honey, No, I warned people about her. Eric Gray says capitalism as a system is anti-life. Rondo says Mayor Wu is a model minority working towards being considered a whole white person. Interesting. Thank you for the super chat medal. My dad almost died from black mold. It's scary shit. The fact they covered it up is immoral. That's right. And thank you for the super sticker, Ali Diaz. And shout out to Timothy Onuki, for becoming a Sabby member. Give Timothy a big whoop whoop. You got to be careful with some of these people. They're like, we're representation. And don't do anything for those marginalized groups that they said that they were going to do. Not a good look for her on that one. Not a good look. Let's go to, I thought I saw one I was going to highlight really quick, and then we'll go to the next story. Yeah, Multi-Mind said, what's weird is that in other parts of Boston, simultaneously, people are spending small fortunes or fortunes on baubles. It's not like the money simply isn't there. That's right. We have plenty of money.